Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to go over arrays and show you how to manipulate them in Xano. So arrays are a collection of data that can be very powerful and flexible because they can be scalars such as numbers and text, or also objects. So what I've done in Xano here is I just created a custom function that I named arrays just so I have a clean slate to work with here. First, I'm just going to go in my function stack, go to data manipulation, and create a variable, and we'll call it var1, and I'll just make this an array. I'll hit save. And now I'll go into my function stack and back into data manipulation, and here we'll find arrays right underneath create variable. And here we'll see we have a bunch of different things. So I'll show you how to add to an array, remove to an array, merge an array if you want to combine multiple say objects or scalars, and then also show you these helper functions. And these all have the same framework, so I'll just go over one and you'll be able to utilize the same framework to use any of the helper functions. So first, let me go ahead and add to the beginning of this array, and I'll just go var1 and I'm just going to do ABC, and I'll hit save. And next, I'll go ahead and go back to data manipulation, go to arrays, and I'll add to the end of the array now. And I'll just do var1, and maybe I'll say 1, 2, 3, save. Okay, so we've added to the beginning and added to the end of the array. So if I run this, we'll see we have ABC, 1, 2, 3. Okay, pretty simple. So next, I will go into data manipulation, back into arrays, and now we can remove from end of the array or beginning of the array. So let's maybe remove from beginning of the array. And I'll go ahead and select var1 and I'll hit save. And now when I run this, we'll see from the beginning of the array, ABC was removed. So we're left with just 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I won't do the other remove because it's pretty straightforward. But now I'll show you how to do merge. So if I select data manipulation, arrays, and then merge, here we'll open up and we'll choose our existing variable, which is var1, remember. The value is an array, and now I'm going to want to hit add filter right underneath the value. So when I select that, I can choose a filter, and I'll select array. And we see we have all these different operators to give you a lot of different flexibility and a lot of power depending on your use case. So definitely recommend looking at the little descriptors under the operators to see what you need. I think I'm going to use a push right here. So this is just going to push an element onto the end of an array and return the new array to me. So if I select push, we'll see there's a value right there. So I'll go ahead and push maybe 444. I'll hit update, and maybe I'll do another add filter and another push. And I will do, let's say 555, and let's do one more just so we have a nice big array here. And where is push? Push is right there, and I'll say XYZ. So I'm going to combine all three of these with my current array. So I'll hit save, and now when I run this, we'll see we have this nice big array, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, XYZ. Okay, so next, I just want to show you these helper functions. So if I go into my function stack, hit the plus button, go into data manipulation, and back into arrays, underneath we have all these different helper functions that essentially let you find, get, or count in your array. So once again, they all have an identical setup or framework, and I'll show you what that is. So let's say I want to go in and find all elements right here. So if I do find all elements, and up here I will hit this drop down and select var1 because that's my array. And here we notice this blue message. It says the $ this variable is available within the expression builder below, which is right here, and represents each element iteration of the array. So that's a very powerful and useful tool. It'll be able to look at every single element iteration in the array and match up whatever rule I'm about to define. So I'm going to go ahead and click this pen or pencil right here, and it's going to say where, and I hit this drop down. I'm going to use this $this operator. So it matches all those, it looks at all those iterations in my array. And here, maybe I will say, we'll say greater than, and maybe I'll do an integer here because I have a bunch of numbers, remember? So I'll say maybe greater than 200. And I'll go ahead and hit save, and I'll hit update. Actually, I have to give this a name. So I'll call this var2, and then hit save. And now I want to add var2 to my response, and I'll hit save. So now when I run this, not only will I see my array, but I'll see these two elements that I asked for. So I said, show me any element that is greater than 200. And we see 123 is obviously not greater than 200, and XYZ is not a number, so that didn't show up. So as you can see, a lot of power and flexibility within arrays. We have adding, removing, merging, and then all these different helper functions. So go ahead and explore that. Also look into the documentation for more information. Arrays can be a very powerful and useful tool and gives you a lot of flexibility within your project or app. So I will see you in the next video.